Greetings all, this is Hairy Nick.
And this is a less hairy Justin.
Indeed, back once again because, hey, the articles are coming. It's not false fake news. It's actually happening. We're getting regular stuff on X-Wing. So far, we don't have any information sort of beyond the next few Squadron packs, so hopefully that'll be announced soon.
That'd be nice.
But for today, we do have some more information on the Rebel Squadron pack. Barring the leaks we had the other day. So let's actually just dive right into that detail first, because we did already have Wedge Antill spoiled. And I think now that we're sort of a bit distanced from the discussion of Darth Vader and how epic and awesome that is, let's talk about this again, because I think it's worth just bringing up again. Initiative 4, while you perform a primary attack, if the defender's in your forward arc, the defender rolls one fewer defense dice. It's exactly the same as the X-Wing ability, except it doesn't work if Wedge's arc is facing backwards.
Well, it also is only on a primary attack. Wedge on the X-Wing is any attack.
Oh, indeed. So it is a lighter version of Wedge's ability. And it represents, the part where Phoenix Squadron saved Wedge from Sky Striker Academy in the cartoon.
Well, didn't he join? Wasn't he part of Sky Strikers and then he left them?
Yeah, that's right. And I think Sabine and Ezra it's a good show. Go watch Rebels. But it's Baby Wedge essentially. It's Baby Wedge, which is cool. I like this ability. It's like just a nice little aggressive ability. It's not going to be too crazy. You're not going to invest a heap of points in it, but I can imagine this being pretty good just as a nice bit of filler. And I wanted to bring this up in relation to what we know currently. On the Rebellion, if we have a look at the points cost of our RZ-1 A-Wings, the closest thing we have to this is Jake Farrell, also Initiative 4. And I just want to compare these two pilots. Jake Farrell reads, after you perform a barrel roll or boost, you may choose a friendly ship at range 0 to 1. That ship may perform a focus action. And I'm kind of curious as to what the difference between these two things are. Wedge feels like it has more power and the higher ceiling. Jake feels like it's more consistent and more versatile, which probably for your A-style builds, Jake is better. But
yeah, I feel like Jake is better at helping out, or even with your jankyards. Like passing across those focus tokens. Wedge feels like more dedicated, like he'd fly with Lone Wolf and outmaneuver or something like that.
Potentially.
If you had all the points.
I actually still think that Wedge is still good in Jankyard as well. Like you could fly both of them together. What I don't think Wedge is going to be good at is what was Jake in that Fat Han build that was going around for a while when when it had the illicit slide and Luke Skywalker and the really morbidly obese Han Solo. Wedge does not work in that same archetype.
No, definitely not.
The versatility on Jake meant he was able to provide himself focus tokens, provide focus tokens to Han. Wedge is just a good little filler ship that is very self-sufficient. And assuming it's around the same points cost, potentially even a bit cheaper, I can see that being very, very relevant. So I just wanted to bring that up again. I know we've seen it before, but...
I reckon he may be like a point more, give or take, maybe.
Potentially. It depends how consistent that ability is and what archetype it fits into as well. Don't forget, it's more to do with what it does to existing lists than to how much potential it has in a vacuum. So that's going to be interesting to watch. We have a couple more ships, Initiative 3 and 4. Let's just go up through these images I have here. Shara Bay. And before I read this, you lore experts in the comments, why is Shara flying a red A-Wing? She's green. That's her whole thing. She flew the green A-Wing.
It literally says green 4 on the card.
Yeah, she flew the green A-Wing in the Battle of the Second Death Star. She flew in and out of the Death Star when Wedge and Lando flew into...
this is some different... It looks like she's flying in between a AT-80.
It is an AT-80. Well spotted. Who knows? Tell us
maybe
what
some
that's
sort of comic. Yeah,
could be. Initiative 4. While you defend or perform a primary attack, you may spend one lock you have on the enemy ship to add a focus result to your dice results. Hey, Justin, you know how much I love versatility of your tokens. Yep. I like this a lot. I think
this looks pretty good. Yeah.
It's not, oh, wow, like it's the best thing ever, but its versatility on target locks is very nice because they typically only work offensively. Kind of like how Duke makes your evade tokens work offensively, meaning it can work both on offense and defense. This does the same thing with your target locks, which I quite like. Feels like it has a similar kind of value add as Wedge, not slanted towards aggression like Wedge is. But yeah, like it's not crazy. At the end of the day, yeah, you're doing some cool stuff just to protect your initiative for A-Wing, so, you know, how good can that be? And unlike Jake, she can't pass it to other ships, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
It seems quite powerful, but it doesn't seem busted or anything.
Again, we do also have to point out it is only on primary attacks or defending, so you're not being able to shoot your proton rockets. Yeah,
proton rockets, cluster missiles, concussion missiles, that kind of stuff. What I like about this, though, is it does work nicely with the new configuration. Being able to attack more actually works with this quite well. So if you've got a really good haymaker attack out the rear, you've got a target lock and a focus, hey, guess what? If you roll one blank, it means your attacks, you're converting all your dice. It means if you roll multiple blanks, and we talked about this recently with another pilot, I forget which one it was, but Vader, that's right, of course. It greatly improves the maths in those situations. However, it does have to be a situation where you have a target lock and a focus. So long as you have a target lock and a focus, you're going to attack nice and aggressively, 2 red dice attack, you know, whatever, but it's good value. It's a good value add-on to Initiative 4. Not much more to say.
RZ2s can just show you how well the 2 dice attack works.
Oh, for sure. And they're cheap enough, so you get a decent amount on the table. Let's move over to Hobby. Hobby actually interests me a lot. Derek Clevian, Hobby. Initiative 3, after you acquire or spend a lock, you may remove 1 red token from yourself. Mostly going to be a stress token. You get stress tokens from doing the baked-in ability, either this one or the configuration. So you can just spam it out and just acquire a target lock and boost, or acquire a target lock and what else? It's just a boost on the A-Wing, isn't it? It's acquire the target lock and boost, or acquire the target lock and rotate the turret back if you've got the configuration.
So Hobby can either do it with the vectored thrusters after you perform an action, or if he's got the vectored cannons, he can do it in the system phase. Yes, so system phase, or it kind of makes sense just to keep it vanilla, in that you take your maneuver, then you stress yourself for the boost, and then you can spend target lock during the attack. Doing it during the system phase kind of messes it all up, because if you do a blue maneuver, then you've got no stress to get rid of. It might still be okay from a versatility standpoint, and it also gets rid of other red tokens, so, you know, whatever. I'm just talking about stress specifically because it's going to be the consistent thing that you can repeat. So in terms of, you know, high-level play and consistency, that's the thing you really want to pay attention to. But it just seems good. I like this probably more than the other pilots in this pack, apart from Ahsoka. It just feels like it's something that you have agency over. It's something that you can abuse as a player, and you can just red boost, spend target lock, red boost, spend target lock over and over again. Or K-turn, potentially, and then spend target lock, remove stress, and then do like your white hard turns and stuff like that. The power level is quite high. You have a target lock.
You have to have the target lock already, so it's not like it's not free. It just... you could do cool things. And I don't think it's that crazy. That's the thing. I don't think it's like, Magic Christmas Land. I think, no, like, you just a bit of planning. You can make this.
You do a 5K, you spend the lock, remove the stress off that, and you can then...
do another 5K. I mean, or just like do one. Probably you're just going to do like white maneuvers and stuff like that, or hard turns, stuff like that. That just seems decent to me. Like, it just seems like there's a lot of power to this card.
It's also interesting that they've brought the ability like straight across from X-Wing 1.0. I'm kind of glad that they've done that.
I agree, and on a much better platform as well. X-Wing 1.0 didn't have baked-in abilities. It didn't have natural ways to stress beyond just doing red maneuvers. And you can't do a red maneuver and take a target lock in the same turn. It doesn't work. But on this one, you can take a target lock and do a red boost in the same turn. Value. Good card. Looks real decent. Let's talk about the thing that most people are going to be hype about, the Socatano. Initiative 5, 3 force. After you fully execute a maneuver, you may choose a friendly ship at range 1 to 2. So, in other words, that can't be a Soca. And spend 2 force. That ship may perform an action even while stressed. So Ahsoka bringing over her, forcing actions even through stress from the Republic over to the Rebellion. This is just very powerful. Yeah. Great ability, Initiative 5. There's really not much to say. This is just awesome.
This with Hera. Ooh.
That's the obvious thing, because Hera's obviously got a nice high power level. And we're talking like Hera in an A-Wing or a B-Wing. That's still awesome. Alongside like any decent like Rebel small ships, even Wedge and Luke in the X-Wings. Like there's a lot of things you could do with this. It's you could even use this with Jake Farrell, and Jake Farrell can do a boost or a barrel roll, then give Ahsoka back a focus token.
Oh, that's a bit fun.
I mean, that's if one faction's got to do it, it's got to be Rebels. They can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just says friendly ship, doesn't have to be a small ship. That's it. You could have like a lower initiative large ship with a rotatable turret, and Ahsoka could fly potentially last at initiative 5. Just things like that.
Yeah.
Yep. The timing's helpful. The action economy's helpful. And above all this, above everything else, this doesn't actually take away from Ahsoka's action, which then she can do 2 actions herself. Like, it's just a good action economy. It feels like a very strong ace kind of archetype. We'll see how it works points-wise. She does have 3 force tokens, so this is not going to be cheap.
I think it's going to be pretty survivable.
Indeed. Like, Rebel Aces hasn't really been a thing. No. And now it's suddenly got 2 very relevant pieces with this and Hera. Worth keeping an eye on. Ahsoka looks awesome. In fact, all these A-Wing pilots look awesome. I think a lot of experimentation needed. Let's jump down to these upgrade cards. Before we talk about anything else, I just want to bring up Phoenix Squadron. We were chatting about this for a while before the video. I think this is an error because there is no requirements on this part of the card here. It doesn't say Rebel, it doesn't say VCX 100, even though the article kind of indicates that's what it's designed for. You automatically wingmate yourself with a ship that's docked, and it has synergy with a Sheathopede or attack shuttle and RZ-1 A-Wings that fly with it. So it's kind of weird that it would do that and not specify Rebel. I think what's going to happen, Justin, it's going to specify Rebel VCX 100, and I think you can still use it with non-RZ-1 A-Wings in the wing, but you just get the extra bonus if you do. That's what I think they meant to do here. I look at this card and I think this isn't complete. This can't be right.
I was about to say it could be something insofar as you remember how there was talk of cross-faction friendly ships sort of going on to other factions and things like that.
Yeah, I don't think this works.
But then at the same time,
way.
Phoenix Squadron itself is a named.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a specific type of wing or something like Guns for Hire is going to be like a wing that you can make, and it specifically gives you those rules on the card. I think this is just a mistake. Yeah. I just wanted to bring it up quickly. We're not epic experts, so we're not going to talk about this for too long, but I just wanted to bring that up. Let's talk about the actual cool stuff here. A new, what do we call this? Adjective talents? Hopeful for the Rebellion.
Yeah.
No requirements apart from Rebellion, so this can go on any size ship, any ships with any actions. The reason I bring that up is because it reads, after another friendly ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed, if that ship was limited or has the hopeful upgrade, you may perform a focus or boost. It can do very powerful things. I spoke about this a little while ago because we were comparing the Scum one. I'll put it up on the screen because it kind of relates back again to Dead Man's Switch. And Dead Man's Switch is, you've got to spend extra points on one ship, then that ship has to explode, and it's very spiky. And they're doing more stuff like this, so it's good because it doesn't have to be the ship it's on. It can be the ship it's on. It does trigger, but it doesn't do anything with the ship it's on, so ignore that. Yeah. But it can be other ships. They just can't be non-limited. It's got to be named ships or ships with hopeful. I had the comment in that last video when we were talking about the scum upgrade, and people were saying like, "Oh, well, it's it's got to be, limited ships or ships with the upgrade." That's such a build around. Like it's not. It's really not. You can build a jankyard build with this quite easy. And hey, look, they're limited. They just all happen to be limited. You can just chuck it in a list that happens to use limited ships already. They already exist. I don't love a card that relies on you losing ships. However, the ability has a very high ceiling, but is it consistent enough?
I mean, if you're playing like something with like 6 ships and they've all got hopeful, pretty good.
Like, what if you do this on like a relatively low initiative and it gets to boost before it attacks? Like, say, like on an initiative 3, it seems like you can boost into range 1 and do a range 1 attack. When it didn't get shot at range 1. Like, it's the boost. Okay, the boost is the thing which really pushes this up. And it can go on your Falcon. It can go on your VCX. That's allowed. No longer. You're just learning this for the first time, aren't you?
It just came to me, because it doesn't say that it has to be from your action bar.
No.
It just says, that's
No,
that seems a bit full on.
But temper your expectations. Your ships have to die. You cannot overstate how negative that is for your ability to win a game of X-Wing. However, even in games that you win, your ships do incidentally die. That is true. It's just it's hard to manufacture. That's the main criticism I have of these kinds of cards. But it's good upside. It's flexible enough.
And I suppose like if you don't do the boost action, you've still got the focus action.
Yeah,
provided
that's right.
that you haven't already focused.
Like, you're either in the best position already and you just focus. Yeah, good point. If you haven't already focused, well, I guess you just don't take focus. But focus is very important.
Yeah,
though. I don't know. It seems awkward in those situations, but I don't know. The ceiling is quite high on this. Just being able to boost and do stuff, even with your large base ships. We'll see if this is like costed against ship size. It might not be, honestly, because of how inconsistent it is, or potentially is. I don't know. I haven't tried the card myself. It just seems like it can do a lot, but its consistency is going to be the challenge with this kind of effect. Same with all the other ones for the other packs as well. I'm going to sound like a broken record with that one. Let's have a look. We have another version of the B6 Blabling Prototype. Now, this is the non-epic version. Very simple. Rebel, B-Wing, adds a gunner slot. Like Weapon System Officer is okay on Hera, but it's not great.
That feels pretty good.
Your Proton Torpedo, you get to keep your target lock. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. I don't know. I feel like it needs more pieces. It's good. It just doesn't wow me, but it's something to watch out for as more cards come out. Speaking of which, the next card we're going to talk about, in my opinion, is not that card. I feel bad because we're finishing on a bit of a downer here because I really don't like the design of this card at all. This is Sabine in the gunner slot in the Rebellion. After you perform a special attack, you may choose a number of friendly ships at range 0 to 3 of the defender to the number of damage cards dealt to the defender during that attack. In other words, you hit like your opponent's decimator, you deal it 3 cards, you can choose up to 3 of your friendly ships within range 0 to 3 of that ship. Bit to think about, but it makes sense.
As soon as you say it, it makes sense, but God, it reads really long.
It's got to, though. I can understand that. I have criticised FFG's writing in the past, but this one makes sense. It has to work technically. But conceptually, it's quite simple. So I give them a pass for that one. Each of those ships may remove 1 strain or 1 stress token. The setup is not uber complex or hard to do, but it is something you've got to manufacture. And the payoff is
meh.
Situationally good, but not great.
Well, not only all of this, you've still got to perform the special attack. You've got to perform a missile or something like that.
It is specifically special attack. I've completely forgot about that part. Amongst all the extra words, I forgot there had to be a special attack.
It's a lot of hoops to jump through.
It is.
And then even if if you deal 1 damage and you've got half a dozen ships with you with stress or strain, you're oh.
I mean,
well, that's annoying. But then there's also the other thing of you do a great attack, you deal like 3-4 damage. If all your friendly ships around you don't have any stress or strain, you're going to be like, well, that
sucks. That sucks. Let's think a scenario here. Hera, Title, Sabine, and Proton torpedoes, for example. And you do your B-wing, your red maneuvers, and you can kind of manufacture it. And let's just say it has no more power level above that. Obviously, it can do it to multiple ships at the same time. Is that that is repeatable and manufacturable? That's why I'm using this as an example. Is that good enough?
I suppose, yeah, you can remove the stress or strain from yourself.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, if Sabine and the Title is like 1 or 2 points each, maybe that's okay.
And I suppose realistically, like, this could go on like a Falcon or something else. Like, it doesn't have to go on the B-wing, but
what special attacks does the Falcon have? I think the Falcon has missiles from memory.
Yeah,
I know it did in first edition. I don't know why, but it does. But special attacks, that's the whole thing. So
yeah, so what?
The Ghost can fire torpedoes as well? The Ghost has a gunner slot, right? The Arc 170 can fire torpedoes, that's a thing. Y-wings can fire torpedoes.
Yeah, Y-wings have gunners. The K-wing?
I mean, if you
K-wing?
If you really
K-wing could be interesting.
If you really want to lean into it, you could fly a whole heap of B-wings and clear stress. This is not Princess Leia. This is not Princess Leia. We already have like a mass stress removal card on the Rebellion that is so consistent. I don't know, like, man, this is Sabine. Sabine should be better than this. Bit of a down to this. This doesn't wow me at all. Like, in the comment section, like, oh, but you didn't consider this. Like, do the type you don't. Please tell me.
Please tell us, because I want this to be good.
Yeah, it's Sabine. Sabine's an awesome character. I want Sabine to Sabine, This is, after all, Sabine Wing, and we can't have a bad Sabine in the game. Anyway, apart from that, these new A-Wing pilots look awesome, so let's focus on that. Ahsoka, Hobby, I'm very interested in both of those. So let's end the video on a high note. Yes, hype for new pilots, and hype for the next article. Now, did this release in order of what they spoiled in the stream? It was Rebel, Empire, Scum, wasn't it? So
yeah, I
would assume that next week will be Empire. So stay tuned. Next week, Australian time Thursday, or what would that be? American time?
Wednesday?
Yeah, something like that. Like the midday Wednesday thingamajig they usually do. I'm expecting an Empire article. But who knows? Maybe the next wave will be revealed tomorrow. We'll find out.
That'd be nice.
We will find out. In the meantime, of course, me and Justin will be here covering it because that's what we do. Justin, thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to follow us on any social media, it's all down in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, ring the ding-a-ling, make YouTube happy.
Those things there,
because
whatever other things are there.
We vanish from existence if you don't ring the bell. I've been told this by the YouTube gods.
Okay.
Also, we got a Patreon for the channel, so if you'd like to help support, that's a thing you can do. Again, down in the description. With all that in mind, we'll catch you in the next video.
Bye.